All right, in today's class session, we're going to start working on Module 5, which is discussing market research. We'll do this in two sessions, two class sessions. We're going to do a couple of steps today and then do the remaining steps next week. But as we do every week, we're going to go over a 2-week span of the calendar of upcoming projects or assignments that are due. So we're in week 11, March 22nd. Module 5 knowledge check. That's actually going to be due on April 4th by 11:59 p.m. In addition to that, the homework for this week is Module 5 project. The place, which is the fourth P that we'll go over for the 4 Ps. That's due by March 28th at 11:59 p.m. And then for week 12, which is March 29th, we'll be going over again. We'll still be working on Module 5, but the homework that's due by April 4th at 11:59 p.m. is going to be the Module 6 project, the portfolio project rough draft, as well as the Module 5 knowledge check. Any questions about that? All right, so to get to the Module 5 assignments, you go into Blackboard for this class, go to Modules, Module 5 Market Research, go into Assignments. Now, I'm going to give you 2 opportunities to turn in the knowledge check assignment. So whichever one is the highest score, that's the one that'll be placed into the grade book, and that's for the knowledge check. As far as the Module 5 place project, make sure you read the portfolio project directions, which are in Module 1, for any instructions for that. As far as the Module 6 project, the rough draft, again, that's located in Blackboard for this class. You go to Modules, Module 6, Segmentation, Assignments, and you'll see it listed here. And again, look at the portfolio project directions for Module 1 for the assignment directions for this. Any questions? All right, as I stated before, we're going to be talking about marketing research. In order for marketing actions to be accurate and produce results, marketers have to conduct market research. The market research, that's a way that a team or a group or a company, that's how they go through when they recognize a marketing problem or an opportunity. And from that information that they collect, they come up with ways to solve those problems. The information that's collected during certain steps of the marketing research, it gets analyzed, and then certain recommendations are put into place. The more market research that's gathered, the less risk there is of incorrectly identifying a problem or a situation. Marketing research allows companies to understand their competition. We're going to discuss competition a little bit more in another lecture, but just know that you have to do thorough marketing to understand your competition. And that's the best way that marketers get to know different threats and opportunities that are available to their company. Market research also impacts the planning and implementation of all of the 4 Ps or the marketing mix, which is price, place, product, and promotion. So you use this marketing research to understand that and to plan and implement those 4 Ps. Like most processes in the marketing world, market research has its own steps. It's a 5-step process, as you can see on this slide. It's linear in that all 5 steps must be conducted in the order that they're given. However, it's cyclical. Even if the process is only conducted once, feedback can occur at each step. So this feedback can impact any type of future market research that is done on the same problems or the same opportunities. Marketers may have to conduct similar market research over and over again if they keep receiving feedback that warrants market research to be done. Any questions? So, as with any type of research assignment, it begins with defining a problem. The two key elements to defining a marketing problem are first setting an objective, and then after you set the objective, you look for possible marketing actions. Research objective must be specific and measurable, has to be a specific and measurable goal that the marketer hopes to achieve through research. Objectives can assist in narrowing down and defining the scope of the research. Marketers want to ensure that their objective is not too broad, as too much information collected might not be useful. But on the other hand, an objective can't be too narrow, because then you don't have enough applicable information collected. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to find or to define a problem, or to see what type of opportunities that are available. There are three main types of marketing research objectives. The first one is the exploratory research. When that's conducted, you're discovering different ideas and insights that could help with the larger overall problem. Now, keep in mind that the exploratory data that's collected is not statistical or it's not quantitative. And an example of that, of exploratory research, is trying to find out whether or not sales have declined and what can be done to stop the decline. The next type of research objective is the descriptive research, and that's conducted to determine the frequency of a relationship between two factors. You can conduct this to have a better understanding and to be able to better define different opinions and different attitudes or behaviors on certain subjects. Unlike the exploratory research, descriptive research is pre-planned and it's structured and it's statistical. And an example of that would be, what type of features do buyers prefer in the different products that your company might offer. And then the third type of objective research is called casual research. Although the word casual is used in the title of that type of research, it's far from casual. It's actually pretty structured, and you get quantitative data from it. The goal of casual research is to determine the degree to which a change in one factor is going to impact another factor. So an example of that would be, will buyers purchase more of a product if we decide to use some type of new packaging? So there are three components for step two. You have to specify your constraints, identify needed data, and then determine how to collect that data. When we specify constraints, we try to find different restrictions that could be placed on potential solutions that will solve the problem that a customer is having. Some constraints could include having a limited time frame, limited funds, or limited manpower to solve a problem. it's important for us to determine what complications there may be that could limit any type of achievement of the objective. Next, we must decide what data we want to collect for our research project. When we know what data we need, we can then decide how to collect that data. All right, so there are a variety of different methods that we can use when collecting the data. The first one is the secondary research, which is data that was previously collected and analyzed by someone else. And then we have the primary data as well, which include things like surveys, focus groups, interviews, experiments, field trials, and observations. So the third step of marketing research is collecting the relative data. When we start collecting the information, we have to make sure that it's relevant and pertinent to what our objective is. From the information that we do collect, we will be able to make an educated marketing decision. There are two main types of data. We have the primary data and then the secondary data. The secondary data kind of coincides with the secondary research, which I discussed in step 2, where it's information that was previously collected, analyzed, and recorded. The secondary data can be broken down into two different data types. You have your internal data and your external data. The internal data is the existing information found within a company or an organization. An example of this would be the marketing team analyzing old marketing budgets or sales reports or different product reviews that customers left previously. External data, on the other hand, is existing information from outside of the company or organization, which means that there was a third party that conducted the research. An example of external data would be something like the US Census report or any type of reports that are found online about a product or service, or any type of article found in business magazines or any blogs. Secondary data is generally easier to collect and it's less time consuming to find, and it's more cost effective than compared to primary data. Now, primary data is brand new data collected for any type of specific research project. There are different types or different tools that marketers can use to collect the data, including observations, questionnaires, panels, and experiments. For the observation data, marketers collect this data by just observing how people behave in certain situations. Questionnaires are a good way to obtain both quantitative and qualitative data that can easily be sorted, organized, and analyzed. Questionnaires help marketers generate ideas and allow them to evaluate those ideas. The individual interviews that take place is where one researcher will conduct a one-on-one interview with the consumer. And these have traditionally been utilized to generate certain marketing ideas. As far as social media, this is a great way to collect primary data as well, where marketers use social media apps to kind of come up with surveys and to see what potential customers might want to do. The surveys generally have two options where the participants merely just click on whichever option sounds most appealing to them. For panels and experiments, the panels are an effective tool in measuring how how customers change their attitudes and behaviors over time. The panels usually consist of a group of customers or a group of stores that are measured by a marketer. These experiments and panels are very formal, and then and they have controlled methods of collecting data. So when they conduct an experiment, marketers usually manipulate certain factors or variables to determine if a change occurs when that manipulation is made. Any questions? Now you're going to break out into your groups. I sent all of the cases for this week, for week 11, and then week 12, and you're expected to answer just questions number 1 and questions number 2 today, with a minimum of 150 words each question. Make sure that you submit uh, a Word document to me or email it to me by this evening at 11:59 p.m. And then during your group meeting sessions, I'll be available for anyone if they want to do a one-on-one check-in with me. And as always, for your weekly journal entry, make sure you do that before you log out. I do read those and I do reply to them. So make sure you're doing those. Minimum of 50 words. Same topic as previous weeks. What did you learn today? And if there's anything that I need to cover or review in next week's class.